Welcome, welcome. This is Natasha with Hatha Yoga Studio, and today I'm here with Danny, Lexi, and Emily, and we're going to be practicing a Hatha Yoga class. This is going to be a 60-minute class, and we'll start out with a little bit of breathing before moving into the warm-up, getting into the poses, and then coming to our cool down, and finally Shavasana. So as you're ready, you'll go ahead and take a comfortable seat. You might sit on a block or a blanket here, and then we'll start with Nadi Shodhana. Bringing the left hand back to Jnana Mudra. Thumb and forefinger come together, placing that hand in your left hip crease. The right hand is Vishnu Mudra. Fold down the first two fingers. Close your right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left side. At the top, close the left with the ring finger. Exhale to the right. Inhale through the right side. And with the exhale, switch back to the left. Inhaling through the same. And switching with the exhale. Inhaling always through the same side. Switching with the exhale. Continuing to move the breath back and forth at your own pace. Inhales and exhales the same length, the same intensity. Stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. Relaxing the shoulders down the back, out of the ears. Allowing for prana to flow through Sushumna Nadi, the spinal column. Breathing back and forth, starting to bring the attention internally, letting go of the external world. Maybe focusing on Ajna Chakra, the space between the eyebrows. Last little bit. Continuing to move the breath back and forth until the next time you exhale through the left side. There's no rush, but when you get there, you'll complete that breath. Then release the hands and begin breathing normally. You'll take a moment to set an intention or a dedication for your practice. And then bringing that to heart center, we'll open with an Om. Inhale. Then we'll go ahead and roll over to hands and knees and come into a tabletop position. Starting with some cat-cow. You'll place the wrists directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips. With an inhale, lift the heart, lift the tailbone, and exhale to round, pushing the floor away. Inhale to pull the shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest and collarbone. Exhale to round. Continuing to move back and forth with your own breath. Deep breaths here. Last two. Maybe turning the hands backwards, getting into the wrists and the forearms. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to a neutral spine, turning the hands forward, and then tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. You might roll the ankles or bend and straighten the knees. One more inhale. With your exhale, bend your knees and look forward. Inhale to step or hop to the top of the mat. Lift halfway. Then exhale and fold. And we'll take a few breaths here, just letting the body dangle. You might grab opposite elbows. Maybe finding some movement, swaying back and forth. Or maybe you shake the head. And then with your inhale, slowly start to roll the spine all the way to standing. Bringing the arms up last. And then Samasthiti. And then we'll take Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arms reach up and back, slight back bend. Exhale to fold. Inhale, step the right foot back, drop the knee to the mat, look up. Exhale, left foot goes back, knees come down. Bend through the elbows, chin and chest come through. Inhale to Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the right foot comes forward, left knee drops down. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale to place the hands and step forward, folding. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale to stand. And we go again. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, the left foot steps back, drop the knee. Exhale, right goes back, knees, chest, chin. Inhaling to Cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the left foot forward, drop the back knee. Exhale, the right comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and back. And exhale to stand. We go again. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale and fold. Inhale, the right leg goes back, drop the knee. Exhale, left goes back to meet it. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the right foot comes forward, back knee drops down. Exhale, left comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and back. And exhale to stand. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, the left foot goes back, drop the knee. Exhale, right goes back to meet it. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale to Cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the left foot forward, drop the back knee. Exhale, the right foot comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale, Samasthiti. And again, inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, the right leg back, drop the knee. Exhale, left foot goes back, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the right foot forward, drop the back knee. Exhale, left comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale, Samasthiti. 2 more. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, left leg goes back, drop the knee. Exhale, right goes back to meet it. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the left leg forward, drop the back knee. Exhale, right comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and back. And exhale, Samasthiti. Last one. Inhale, arms reach up and back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, the right leg back, drop the knee. Exhale, left goes back to meet it. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the right leg forward, back knee comes down. Exhale, left comes forward and we fold. Inhale, arms reach up and back. And exhale to stand. Shake it out. And then we'll take some forward folds, starting with Padangusthasana. Bringing the feet hips distance apart, hands come to the waist. Lift your heart with an inhale, pull the elbows back. Exhale to fold. Grabbing the big toes with the peace fingers, and then lifting the heart, folding with your exhale. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back, out of the ears. Pressing forward into the balls of the feet. Deep breaths. Pulling the navel in. Using the front of the body to help pull you into the pose. Then with an inhale, lift halfway. And then you can stay here, or if you're ready to go deeper, it's Padahastasana, placing the hands under the feet, palms facing up. Lift your heart with an inhale, and then fold with your exhale. Pressing into the balls of the feet, keeping the legs active here. Pulling shoulder blades down the back. Deep breaths. And with an inhale, lift halfway and release the hands. And then we're just going to step the left foot back and then spin that heel to the mat, coming to Warrior One, Virabhadrasana A. You'll start to bring the hands up as you're ready, checking the alignment of your heels, pressing through the outside edge of the back foot, lifting through that kneecap, bending deep into the right knee. The hands might come overhead if you're ready. Breathing deeply. And then as you're ready, we'll take a twist, bringing the left elbow over the right knee. You might spin up the back heel here for a moment to get into the pose, And then take it back down as you're ready. We'll stack the hands, pulling that left lung through, rolling the heart open towards the ceiling, pressing into the palms, trying to lift the heart over the hands. Pressing through the back leg, keeping it active. Then we'll come back up to standing and open up to the side, Virabhadrasana B. Spinning the back foot out, maybe even taking it back a few inches, taking up lots of space here. Arms come out to the sides like a T. And then you'll bend deep into that right knee, pulling it towards its own pinky toe. Pressing through the outside edge of the back foot. Pulling the energy through the tips of the fingers, but then relaxing the shoulders out of the ears. Last few. Then the right hand comes to the inside of the right foot. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Parsvakonasana, side angle. You can also place the right hand on a block here, or bring the left or the right arm to the right thigh. Taking the gaze up towards that top hand, reaching it to the ceiling. Pressing through the back foot. Then you'll look down, place both hands on the mat, spin the back heel up, and then step back, coming into a high plank. Holding here for a couple of breaths, pulling the navel towards the spine, pressing into the hands. Shoulder blades pull apart. And then we'll step the left foot forward. Spin the right heel down, Virabhadrasana A. Setting up perfectly for your body. And then working your way up. Bringing the hands overhead if you're ready. Pulling the left hip back. Bringing the right hip forward. Deep breaths. Pressing through the back foot. And then we'll take the twist, bringing the right elbow over the left knee. Stacking the hands, maybe letting that back heel spin up for a moment to get into the pose before placing it back down on the mat. Pressing through that foot. Trying to lift the heart over the hands. Deep breaths. And then we'll come up to stand and open to the side, Virabhadrasana B. Bending deep into the left knee. Spinning the back foot out, taking up lots of space here. Pulling that left knee towards its own pinky toe. Reaching through the fingertips. Staying strong in the back leg. Breathing deeply. And then the left hand will come to the inside of the left foot or place it on a block. You can also bring that left arm to the left thigh, reaching the right arm to the ceiling. Taking the gaze towards that top hand. Deep breaths. Pressing through the back foot. And then you'll look down, place the hands, spin the back heel up, and we'll step back, coming into that high plank. Couple of breaths here. Pressing into the palms. Then we'll step the right foot forward and then bring the back foot in maybe 2 to 3 feet behind the front, coming into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. We'll come up to stand to begin. And then check the heels, make sure they're lined up with each other. Front toes are on a heavy angle towards the top of the mat. You can take inverted prayer here if that's in your practice, or interlace fingers behind the back. Then lift your heart with an inhale, fold over the front leg with your exhale. You might put a micro bend in that front knee, especially if the hamstring's tight, or you know that you're prone to overextending. Then you'll feel the right hip lifted up and back. Pull the left hip down and forward. Pressing through the back foot, as well as the big toe of the front foot. And then you'll release the hands to the mat and start to shift forward into that right leg, lifting the left leg up and back, coming into standing splits, folding over the front leg. You can work on your balancing here if you would like, maybe coming to the fingertips. If that goes well, maybe you do 2 fingertips each hand, or maybe 1. Then maybe the right hand grabs the right ankle. If that's still easy, you can grab the ankle with both. Squeezing that back leg, lifting it high. And then if you're balancing, you'll release the hands. And we're just going to move into a warrior 3. So you'll lift the chest, bringing it so that it's parallel with the mat. Keeping that back leg lifted. Hands might come to heart center here. Staying grounded through all 4 corners of the right foot. Fighting for it, using that angry determination. Last little bit. And then place the hands and step back, coming into that plank. And then we're going to take 1 round of Vashisthasana on the right. So you'll look towards the right wrist and then start to tip the body right, stacking the feet or staggering them. Left arm reaches to the ceiling. Lifting the hips high. Breathing deeply. And then look down, place the top hand. And we'll set up for those same poses on the left, starting with Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose, stepping the left foot forward, and then stepping the right foot in about 2 to 3 feet behind the front, checking your alignment, and then coming up to stand. And then you'll take the same hand variation you did on the other side. If you interlaced fingers, this time you'll switch hands so that the opposite hand is leading, and then lift your heart and fold. Pressing into the front big toe, as well as the outside edge of the back foot. And feel that left hip lifted up and back, bringing the right hip down and forward. Pulling the chin towards the shin. Couple more breaths. And then you'll release the hands, place them on the mat. Start to shift forward into that left foot, reaching the right leg up and back. Standing splits, folding over the front leg. Maybe working on the balance if you did on the other side. And then feel the hips. Drop that right hip down, keeping it level with the left. Squeezing through the back leg, using your strength to lift it higher. Last little bit. And then we'll come into Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana C. Lifting the chest so that it's parallel with the mat, creating a human T here. Deep breaths. Only a few here. Fighting for it. And then we'll place the hands and step back, coming into that high plank, and then looking towards the left wrist, tip the body left, Vashisthasana. Lifting the hips high, pressing into that bottom hand. Couple more. And then look down, place the top hand, and then bring the knees to the mat. You can sit back on the heels here. And then we're going to move into a headstand next. So you can turn around and use your wall if you need that for a little support or a little bit of like emotional support. And then we're going to come up into the headstand, making sure that you're measuring the alignment of your hands, just as Emily is showing here, grabbing the outside edges of the elbows, and then the head goes directly into the basket that the hands create. Then you'll start to walk the feet forward. Maybe you come up into a split, or maybe you come up through a pike. We'll be here about 3 minutes. So you'll settle in, deepening the breath, pulling the lower ribs in. You might close or soften the eyes here. Finding a place of stillness. About a minute in, so 2 more to go. If at any point there's another leg variation that you would like to take, you can move into that. Maybe eagle legs or Padmasana if that's in your practice. Continuing to breathe. Just about 7 to 10 breaths left, depending on how deep your breaths are. Then when you're ready, you'll start to come out, moving slowly and with control. And then we'll come into a child's pose, taking a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to move into a shoulder stand. So you can come to your seat and then recline back, making sure that you've got enough space behind you so that you don't kick the wall. And then as you're ready, start to take the legs up and back, supporting the lower back with the hands. And then settling in here. The gaze is towards the navel. You can also close the eyes if that feels nice. Deep breaths. About 2 more minutes left. If you would like to move into Halasana, plow pose, you can drop the feet back towards the floor behind you. Keeping the spine long. A little bit longer here. If you would like to go deeper, you can bend the knees, bringing them towards the shoulders. Maybe they even come down to touch the mat. Last couple deep breaths. Then when you're ready, you'll slowly start to roll the spine back to the mat, coming out with control. And then you can move into a counter here, taking fish pose, full wheel, camel, any sort of back bend that opens the throat. Taking a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll come into a seated position and set up for Paschimottanasana. Extending the legs out in front of you. You might bend through the knees here a little if the hamstrings are tight. And then grab the big toes with the peace fingers. Lift your heart with an inhale, and then fold with your exhale. Finding a lot of length in the spine. Pulling the chest towards the top of the mat. Bringing shoulder blades down the back. And then we'll come back up and set up for Janusirsasana A on the right. You'll bend through the right knee, bringing that foot to its own seat, and then drop the knee out to the side. Lift your heart with an inhale, and then fold with your exhale. Folding down the center line, just like you would if both legs were extended. Keeping a lot of length in the spine. And as you're ready, we'll come back up. We're just going to take the side body variation here. So you'll take that left leg out to the side a little, opening up the leg some, and then start to walk the left hand down the left shin, reaching the right arm up and over. Creating a little rainbow with the arm. Finding a lot of space in the left side body, lifting through the heart. And then opening that right shoulder to the ceiling. Deep breaths. Then as you're ready, we'll fold to center. Take a breath there. And then we'll come back up and release the legs. Between sides, we'll take a reverse tabletop. So you'll bend the knees, placing the feet on the mat, and then place the hands behind the seat, maybe about a foot behind it. Fingertips can be pointed towards the seat or reversed, either way. And then start to lift the hips towards the ceiling. You might let the head drop back if that feels nice. Pressing into the hands, pressing into the feet. Then you'll release back down, and we'll move to the other side. Starting with Janu Sirsasana A, bend the left knee, and then drop that knee out to the side, folding forward as you're ready. Finding length in the spine, pulling the shoulder blades down the back, out of the ears. And as you're ready, you'll come back up, and we'll open that right leg out to the side, coming into the side body variation, walking the right hand down the right shin, reaching the left arm up and over. Lifting through the heart, finding space in the right side, allowing for the left side to receive the stretch. And as you're ready, we'll fold forward. Take a breath there. And then come back up and release the legs. Maybe taking some windshield wipers here. And then we're just going to move into Gomukhasana next. You'll start by placing the left leg on the mat, bringing that left foot towards the right seat. If you know that this pose is a little bit more difficult for you, you can sit up on a prop like a blanket, and then you'll take the right leg across the left, crossing at the knees or as close to it as you can. And then make sure that the heels are equal distance from the outside edges of both hips. And then you'll just start to fold forward as you're ready, maybe a little, maybe a lot, just depending on your own body, where you are today. You might just tuck the chin, and that's perfectly fine as well. Then when you're ready, we'll come back up, and then we'll switch sides. You can take the Charlie Brown switch if that's in your practice, or you can do a headstand to switch, or easy way, just release the legs and then switch them. Right leg on the bottom this time, left on top, making sure heels are directly between the seat, and then folding forward as you're ready. You might notice differences between the sides. It's totally normal. Just something to make a note of without any judgments. Just creating awareness. Last couple breaths. And then you'll start to come back up and release the legs. Maybe doing some windshield wipers between the sides. And then we're going to move into a back bend here, working with Ustrasana, camel pose. So you'll come up to your knees. And then make sure that the knees are directly under the hips. You can tuck the toes or have the tops of the feet on the mat. Either is fine. And then the hands will come to the waist. Lift your heart with an inhale. And then start to take the chest back with your exhale. Pressing the hips forward. Maybe letting the head drop back. Squeezing through the legs. Then we'll come back up, coming up with the head last, and then sit back on the heels. Tuck the chin for a moment. And then we'll come up for round 2. Bringing the hips up, placing the hands on the waist, lifting the heart, and then pressing the hips forward. Taking the heart back. Going only as deep as your body's ready to go. Pulling the shoulder blades in towards each other and down the back. Then as you're ready, come up. Sit back on the heels. Take a moment. And final round. Coming up to the knees. Hands come to the waist. Lifting the heart. And then pressing the hips forward. Squeezing the legs. Really focusing on that leg squeeze and lifting of the heart. This helps to protect the lower back, keep it from getting compressed. Last couple breaths. Then come back up and sit back. Maybe you take a child's pose here. And then we're going to come into Baddha Konasana next. So you'll come up to seated and then bring the feet out in front of you, bringing bottoms of the feet together and then dropping the knees out to the sides. You'll grab the feet with the hands, rolling the arches out a little with the thumbs, and then lift your heart with an inhale and start to take the chest forward with your exhale. You might press into the knees with the elbows if that feels nice. Keeping both sit bones in contact with the mat. Last little bit. Then you'll start to come up. And we'll shift the feet a little further forward, coming into Tadasana, star pose, interlacing the fingers on the outside of the toes, first 2 fingers pointing forward. And then you'll bring the head towards the feet, letting the spine round here. Elbows come to the outsides of the legs. Just letting gravity do the work for you. No straining, no forcing. Then when you're ready, you'll start to slowly roll the spine back up, guiding the knees back towards each other with the hands. Maybe taking some windshield wipers or finding any other movement that feels nice to counter that. And then when you're ready, we'll recline to our backs and do some twisting here. Just going to do a reclined twist. We'll start by dropping the knees out to the right side. If you know the twisted trunk variation, then you can take the left leg over the right. Otherwise, you can just bend the knees and then drop them out to the right side and take the gaze over the left shoulder. Keeping that left shoulder on the mat. You might place a block underneath of the knees to help support it. And then we'll come back to center and switch. If you cross the legs, you'll take the right over the left this time. And the knees drop out to the left side. Taking the gaze over the right shoulder. Then when you're ready, you'll bring the knees back to the center and we'll prepare for Shavasana, the final pose. If there's any final movements you might need, you can take those now. Just doing anything to help prepare the body for rest. And then when you're ready, you'll grab any props that help to set you up comfortably. You might place a blanket under the head or some blocks under the calves. An eye pillow or a rag over the eyes is always nice too. You'll settle in, letting the breath come naturally on its own. letting everything melt into the mat below you. You'll begin bringing awareness back to the body, deepening your breath, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, or stretching your arms overhead. And then when you're ready, you'll pull your knees into your chest and roll over to your right side. Taking a moment here to feel grounded, to feel supported. And then when you're ready, you'll push yourself up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or soft. You'll take a moment to reaffirm your intention or your dedication. And then bringing that to heart center, we'll close with an Om. Inhale. Thank you all for practicing with me.